Okay. Okay, a very good afternoon to everyone, and welcome to Excelforce MSC Berhad's corporate and Q2 results briefing. I'm Chris from Image Jiwa, the IR and PR consultant for Excelforce, and I shall be the moderator for today's briefing. Today's result briefing is part of Bursa Malaysia's IR and PR project for selected listed company. This IR and PR project is aimed to improve the visibility and accessibility of participating PLCs via more active IR engagement with the investment community. For the first phase of the project, Image Jiwa has been appointed as a third-party IR company to train and educate participating PLCs to conduct effective IR engagement. The selected companies for this program are PLCs that are less accessible to analysts and investors, but highly in demand based on the feedback received from the investment community. We wish to thank Excelforce for participating in this project, and the recording of today's investor briefing and presentation slides will be made available for everyone on Bursa Malaysia Institutional Insight portal after this event. Today, we are very pleased to have with us Mr. Andy Wong, Managing Director of Excelforce, and Mr. Liu Kian Fat, Head of Finance of Excelforce, and Ms. Liao from Finance. Without further ado, I will pass over the floor to Andy, who will bring us through today's briefing. Over to you, Andy.
Well, thank you very much, Chris. Firstly, thank you to Bursa for sponsoring this, and also the opportunity to partner with Image Jiwa to do this briefing. And welcome everyone to this briefing on our Q2 results. So without further ado, let me just go straight into the slide itself. What we're going to do is that we're going to take everybody through a couple of things. The company info overview, the business overview, for those who are not so familiar with Excelforce. Also a financial review overview after that, with some of the key investment highlights and the stock information. So let me just jump straight to company overview. So we've been established in 1994, so we have been more than 25 years of creating value in the capital market, particularly the stockbroking industry. We are a market leader in our field. Roughly about 50% of Bursa trading volume actually flows through the system that we have installed. As of June this year, based on a ranking of trading volume, trading value, we actually serve 7 out of the top 15 brokers in Malaysia. We have deep domain knowledge, and we build complete system solution for share trading. And our people have a vast experience operating in a mission-critical online business environment. So major shareholder of company is actually Asia Internet Holdings, which most of you know that they are also the owner of MyAG Services. Besides Malaysia, we are also operating in a couple other countries in Southeast Asia, in ASEAN countries. The financial results, I think the briefly is at the side, but we'll go further details in a short while. If you take a look at the right-hand side of this slide, these are the two numbers which I'm rather proud with. Almost more than 50% of people are technical people. They are either in R&D, project management, system design, or in customer support. The other number, 20.7, that's the average service tenure years of our senior management team who are involved in technical and operational functions. So, which means that even though there's a change of ownership in 2016, actually every one of the senior management team have continued on with us under the new major shareholder. So this is our corporate structure. We have 3 subsidiaries. Out of the 3 subsidiaries, 2 is operating. The other 2 subsidiaries that are operating are InSage and Sifu, which let me go a bit more detail into InSage and Sifu. InSage is a leading provider of IR website service provider. We've been in the business for probably about 10 years now. It is also a repository of large trove of Bursa listed companies' financial information and also announcement. So we have a huge database there that we are now capitalizing. And where we are capitalizing is where Sifu comes in. Sifu is our latest subsidiary. It was incorporated in Q3 of 2020. We see there's a trend now in the marketplace where investors are more social media savvy. Social investment is on the rise, as evident by the meme stock in the US like GameStop. It is continue on. It will continue on. It's not going to go away anytime soon. And we see this as a opportunity for us to bring together all the investors, different investors in Malaysia, into a social media platform in which to learn and to exchange and to share information about trading. Not necessarily just share, but also other asset classes in order to be better investors. So Sifu actually have its own content. We are not just an aggregator. We create our own content. Some of this content involve interviewings with Bursa listed GLCs. We have actually interviewed quite a number of people since we started. And if you come to our website, sifu.my, you will find that there are quite a number of interesting interviews that we recorded over the last probably about 9 months. So you can join anytime. It's free, but you have access to quite a lot of things within that. So I encourage you to take a look at sifu.my. So these are our milestones and awards that we have won over years. I won't go into a lot of details about it. Just to say that we've been listed since 2004. All right. We have won a couple of awards. The last one being the best return on assets by Focus Malaysia in 2019. And we have also secured MSC status since 2003. So these are some of the key awards and recognitions we just want to share with everyone here. Directors of the companies, we have four executive directors, okay? And then currently we are having 2 independent directors. We will fill in one of the vacancy in time soon. So the executive chairman is Dato' Norisha, and with me, the managing director. And my key people, Eng Shao Han, who is the CTO of a company, is also director of a company, and Gan Teck Ban, who is the head of sales and business development, who is also executive director. All right, so that was a corporate overview. Let me go into the business overview itself so that everyone have an idea how we look at our business. We actually classify our business into 3 broad business segments. You have the application solutions, you have maintenance services, and also application service provider. Majority of revenue actually coming from ASP. ASP means that we actually license out our applications for use by the customers. It's pay as you use basis, but they are also in the form of a fixed and variable charge to this business segment. So when the Bursa runs well, when the retail investor comes into the market, we do see an uptick in terms of revenue in that sense. Application solutions primarily is for services or products that is actually one-off. That's not going to repeat, non-recurring. That's probably about maybe 15% of our 15 to 18% of our revenue stream at the moment. Maintenance services, of course, is just basically supporting those applications that we have sold outright to the customers itself. So our business products, primarily we have front end, middle, and then back end. So let me talk about the front end side. This is what we call the front office. We have a couple of products. BTX is definitely our flagship, in the respect of it being the core system for remisers and dealers in the customer side that are using our system, right? For commercial banks, you also have a system called the stop banking system, which is for the commercial banks exempt dealers to use. The others, all the retail investors outside there, they are either accessing the trading platform through eCourse, which is a web-based system, or our mobile trader app, naturally being a mobile app. To be said, it used to be eCourse very domineering, but with the proliferation of mobile use nowadays, some brokers are saying that 70% of the business is actually coming in through the mobile app trading now. So trading on the go is on the rise, and we're putting a lot of effort there now to improve actually our mobile trading app. We actually just launched our 3rd generation mobile app, which is more intuitive and is with the trader in mind. The redesign is the trader in mind. What are they looking for so that they can place order fast, and also to have information on hand for them to make decisions. This is the front office. On the middle and back office, all these trades that is either placed or traded in the front needs to flow to the back in which to be processed. So we have a couple of products at the back. We have share margin financing, which is where brokers are looking to providing credit lines to investors in which to buy and sell shares. We have also the custodian's nominee system, whereby is for brokers who to provide omnibus accounts to nominate services to customers. Within there is actually to process all the corporate information that is coming, corporate actions that's coming from the exchanges itself. So currently we are very much Bursa, but I think in the next couple of months we will actually be extending that to cover the major stock markets worldwide, primarily US based, some Singapore and Hong Kong per se, to process the corporate action so that it can be updated with lesser human intervention. A lot of brokers currently offer nominee services, but it's very manual based. So we're trying to digitize that so they reduce costs for them. Lastly is the back office system. So that's basically where all the trades are eventually processed. And then from there, contracts are generated, settlements are done, that sort of thing. So we also have a back office system. So front office, back office is primary, but without an infrastructure to support it, it's actually not going to go anywhere. So our 3rd level is actually our network and security. Brokers typically, some brokers opt for full cloud, some opt for hybrid of full cloud and on-prem, which means doing their own network. Some goes for full on-prem network, so which means they manage everything themselves. So on all 3 situations, we have a team that actually will support them. If it's on-prem fully, our team will actually be acting more as a consultant to them to let them know what are some of the trends we're seeing, what are some of the things that you should be doing, what are the health checks that needs to be happening every morning before the system goes live. Being online real-time environment that we're operating in, morning health check or pre-trading check is very, very important. It's where we catch the issues, we try to solve it way before the market opens. That is transparent to all the users. So that's one of the key things that we always do every day. Also, post trading, which is all the day-end activities, we also have a monitoring tool in place to make sure that all these activities are completed. And because if some of these core processes are not done well or is stuck, it's going to disrupt the next day's trading. So hence, pre and post are very important for us. Naturally, security is a big item now. As you well know, in the last few months, last 6 months at least, you look at the US have been hit by ransomware attack left, right, and center. This is something which brokers are also very, very kanchong on, because it is something that SC and Bank Negara are also very, very concerned about. So we have actually constantly doing updating and not updating, but really to make sure that if there are any new threats, our systems are able to cope with it. We close out all the vulnerabilities by doing regular pen tests, which the brokers typically will require us to do. Okay, so you now have an idea about the business segment I have. You now have an idea about the products I have. So this is really where our products have been running. Since the day we started, we've constantly been innovating. And every couple of years we launch something. So as I said earlier, 3rd generation mobile trader we just launched. We are very happy with it, having good response to it. We have also been updating our web, also looking at the institutional side, because institutional dealers typically use non-Malaysian systems. So we're trying to introduce solutions that will help them Malaysianize the system per se. So hence we are working with some sell side in order to look at how we can actually offer our systems and our solutions to them. Okay. So this is where what we have till 2020. These are our key clients. I think you'll find that most of the major names are there. Maybank is one of the most important, Public Bank another. Hong Leong, also a key customer of ours. Kanaga has done very well last year and this year. M Plus, we all know in the marketplace, a lot of people are saying M Plus is the one of the most domineering retail, with the most number of retail investors. M Plus has garnered, so they've done very well also in the last few years. And also some of the local, some of the foreign companies that foreign countries that we are operated in. Okay, so those are all in the past, what we have done and all that. We're still going, it's business as usual, but as I said, we are always innovating. So these are some of the products that we are actually looking to launch from this year to 2024. First one, I'm very, very happy with Accelerate. Accelerate is basically a data analytic engine. What we wanted to help brokers to do is to get them to understand who exactly is their customers and how do they trade, all right? So a lot of these are applying very simple philosophy and is backed up by data. 20% of the customers of any broker will probably generate 80% of the revenue that they earn, right? So if you understand how this 20%, who this 20% are, where they're distributed, who they are, what type of profile are they, then maybe you can use that information in which to have targeted marketing, targeted promotion, targeted ideas in which how to help them to trade more. So it is very data driven, and we have already built the engine, and it is actually being used by one of the brokers currently. Symphony is another area we are hearing the customers loud and clear. Customers are saying that, look, we have all these front-end engines, fantastic, it's doing trading and everything else, but a lot of things are still manual. Processing limit check, processing limit update, updating our accounts, opening our account. Last year, opening an account in the broker was very, very tough. It took months rather than weeks or days. So we came back with Symphony. Symphony is a workflow management system whereby we're trying to digitize what is currently manually done and to get things done faster. So instead of having weeks chasing up for signature, pushing paper along, tons of paper flowing around, we cut down all that, make it digital with clear audit trail so that people know where things are. And from there, you're able to reduce your storage requirement because once you generate paper, it's been signed, right? The brokers are required to keep it for 7 years. And if you have easily 2,000-3,000 accounts open per broker a month, that can run up to be substantial lot of papers over the years. So things like this, we're trying to help them to digitize, bring them to the digital age per se. Third one, MBIS. MBIS is a mobile business intelligence system, all right? The need for this came around because we always hear front end say, I have this idea to trade. I have this idea, but I need this information. So they go to the back office and say, okay, guys, I need this information. I need it organized this way. The back office guy will then go access the system, pull out the data, massage the data, analyze it, present it, bring it back to the front end. It's 1-2 weeks later. And by then, the opportunity will have gone, right? So what we are doing now is that to enable this information that's sitting in the back to be flowing to the front so that the frontline people have information at their fingertip and they can help customer make decisions faster. It is about hasten the decision making, increase the speed. When you can help customer make decisions faster, you can actually increase the business volume without further investment in resources. It's just using existing infrastructure and existing customers, help them to increase the level of volume of trade. All right, so MBIS is going to be able to do that. Last two, Empower. Empower is our new back office system, which we are currently developing. What's different about here is that we are looking it to be multi-asset class. Currently, back office are basically single asset class engines. We're looking to be multi-asset class, and we're also bringing it to the 21st century, which will include cryptocurrency trading. So that's something we are thinking about and actively working on. Lastly, although I say 70% of business trading are now done through mobile app, still a number of people are still using web because some of your professional dealers prefer to trade from the desk with all the charts and everything else, and they're able to do sophisticated analysis and also from there do back testing if their strategies involved. So we are still going to launch our new 4th generation web in time to come. So these are some of the things that's coming on, and we're very excited about them. Especially the first 3, we're very excited because it's something that we've not done before. Yeah, it is going to be a diversification, and maybe not diversification, but enhancement of our revenue stream per se with this new application. So let me move on to the next one, which is a financial overview. If there are any questions, please just chime in. You can ask away, no problem. Let me just proceed on to the financial overview itself. So this is how our Q2 versus Q2 this year versus Q2 last year, and full 6 months result versus last 6 months. So I think as reported in our Monday announcement, we have seen a big growth in our, especially our profit after tax. 38% in revenue for 6 months increase versus with a 58% increase in our profit after tax. On the quarter itself, quarter 2 this year versus quarter 2 last year, also we have seen an increase of 27% in revenue growth and 30% in terms of profit after tax. This is our annual performance. How did we do last year? So as you can see, last year we had a very good year. We were trending about 22 to 23 million for a long time. There's a jump up of 37% up to 31.4 million last year. And as I said earlier, ASP segment is one of the biggest segments, and ASP does track the performance of Bursa in terms of the value and volume transacted. So last year also, our profit before tax and after tax have registered a big jump, 66% of profit after tax, right? So these are pretty good results. And this is how we are performing on a quarterly basis from Q2 last year to Q2 this year. So you can see that we are trending up. We were somewhat trending down a bit, but I think this is not permanent, because sometimes some of these are also due to the fact that our application solution billing, we do have progress billing, and sometimes they don't hit a quarter 2 period, it will flow into quarter 3. So some of these are due to timing changes. Yeah. On overall basis, I do think that we will probably do quite well in terms of our next 2 quarters. So it should see a quite stabilized and maybe a little bit uptick per se. So this is a segment results for on revenue. Okay, you have the annual revenue in the last 3 years, and also at this quarter 2021 versus 2020, right? So as you can see in my quarter 2 results, all business segment grew, right? So hence it's contributed to 8.8 million worth of revenue in quarter 2. Okay, so that was a quick run on the quarter numbers itself. Our revenue stream, as I said earlier, 70-80%, maybe a little bit more now. Our business is in ASP, and the rest are coming out from non-recurring, like the AS segment itself. One notable point for us is that we have actually been consistently profitable over the years since we listed, and we are consistently paying dividend every year. So I think our payout rate is roughly around 80 to 90%. A little bit dipped last year to 78%, but generally it's between 80 to 90% per se. Yeah. So of course we don't have a dividend policy per se. Our dividend payout is depending on how the business is performing, the cash flow, the investment need of its coming years. So then we will make a judgment per se. But over the years, we consistently be able to pay dividend at the same time invest for the future. So we have got a balance right on that sense. So These are financial position as at 30th June. I won't go through the numbers in details. I think Chris, will this slide be made available to them too?
Yes, it will be on the Bursa website.
Okay, all right. Then I won't go through in detail on this. Let me just skip ahead to the next one, which is talking about key investment highlight. Why Excel Force? Yeah. So I think one thing about it is that we have a diverse range of product offering. Yeah, it's still stockbroking, but for those who are not familiar, for those service provider or system provider who have not familiar with stockbroking industries, it is not as easy as it seems on the outside. Operating the mission critical online environment, you need to be fully on your toes, and you have to be very fast in responding to correct any issues and to make sure there's no trading disruption. Every trading disruption costs money. So we have that 25 years of experience doing that. We have a focused R&D team who really not only just maintain the current system, improve on current system, but also looking to new ways of doing things. That's how we came up with a more diverse product. As example earlier, we talked about Accelerate, MBs, and also Symphony itself. In terms of recurring income, is very stable. It's been running at that rate for many years, and we do think it will continue to be. The way we are doing now is that for every new business coming in, we're only looking at ASP. We're not looking at outright purchase anymore. Why ASP? Because it is a lower investment cost for brokers. You're licensed to use the product over a longer period of time, and you only pay as you use. So for brokers, it's very attractive because I don't have a big upfront capital investment like an outright purchase, which I now will have to amortize over a period of time that will come into my P&L. So if you're an ASP itself, you pay as you use. It corresponds to your business volume. Your business volume is good, you use more. If your business volume no good, not so good, you use less. So your margin is better managed per se. We have a regional presence. Malaysia being domineering market for us. We have been operating in other markets like Singapore, Thailand, Vietnam per se. We are also actively looking into markets outside of Malaysia, outside of ASEAN England, actively participating in tenders as we are invited. I don't mind sharing, we've actually been invited by the Dhaka Exchange to participate in a tender. We are not sure of the outcome yet. We don't have news yet, but we'll follow on that. The management team, as I said earlier, highly regarded, wealth of experience, deep domain knowledge. That's one of the things that our customers always say about us. When we bring a problem to you guys got a solution. And when your solution is agreed, it's fast to implement. So that's some of the things our customers have been very appreciative of us, and we also very appreciate our customers for continuing to be with us over the years. And really, we are looking for the future. Insage, Sifu, really tapping into the current trend of the new investors, those below 35. They're no longer following any guru. They are looking for different ways, and they are consuming information from every other, a lot of sources in order for them to make decisions. So we're trying to bring them together in one area for them to in order for them to improve their decision making and make smart decisions. Currently, Sifu is only available on web, but our mobile app is coming up likely end of this year or early next year. But we'll let you know. There'll be a launch for it. All right, stock information. Last slide for me. I think this one speaks for itself. As you can see, just touching a bit about shareholding side, Asia Internet is the biggest owner at about 32, probably 32.9. Nizam, Mohammad Nizam. Actually, Mohammad Nizam has been with us since the day we got listed. So he's been one of our longest shareholder since we started. And I think he still held on to it after all these years. Even the last the warrant he also converted in full. So that testifies to his confidence in the company per se. Okay, so I think that's all I have. Floor is open to anyone who have any questions for me then.
Thanks, Andy. Thank you for the insightful presentation, and also congratulations on your robust set of financials.
Thank you.
We now open the floor for Q&A. You may unmute yourself to post your question, or you can also type in the chat box and we'll read out the questions for you. Maybe I can, I want to kickstart, Andy.
Yep.
Your big chunk of your revenue, right, is actually reliant on retail participation. How is the company planning to, let's say, counter the effect of lower retail trading volume? How do you diversify out of the retail trading as a recurring income?
Yeah, retail is definitely, if you look at the historical trend, it's been lower. Where Bursa is running about maybe 20 to 25% retail participation. Of course, it jumped up to about 40% in 2020, hovering at that level still in the first half of this year, but now trending down to about 35, probably 30 or 35% currently. Retail is still a significant and important part of our revenue growth. But what we are doing now is that we're also looking into the alternative, looking to the more brokers back end in order to help them to digitize and then to reduce manual work. And all these are ASP-based business too. So it is also recurring in that sense, not a one-off sale. Data analytics is another one, which is to us is a recurring because we are looking to helping brokers to build a profile of the business. And we want to tie it to the volume that the brokers will potentially generate because of using the data analytics.
Okay. So it's very much predominantly tied to retail. Like what's the breakdown between the retail participation, right, to your revenue? I think that's the question. So
it's going to be tough to calculate in that sense because the market itself, the retail participation in terms of putting a direct correlation between revenue to retail is not possible because I got fixed and variable portion. Yeah, so not everything is basically fully correlated. There is a relationship, but it's not to say that it goes up here, it will go up by this X percentage point. It's a bit difficult to calculate that.
Okay. Yeah. I think there's a question on any updates on the alternative trading system and dark pool initiative.
Okay. All right.
Still progressing?
I think if everybody recall that the alternative trading system was talked about a lot in 2017. I think SC came in on a late 2017, December 2017 to be exact, to ask feedback from the market about what do they think about ATS, and that process closed at the end of March 2018. Since then, we've been following up. We are still waiting for SC to actually come back to us on their guideline on this. But to be said, ATS is not about dark pool. Dark pool is a part of ATS, but ATS are both lit and dark. If you look at the US itself, you have roughly about 16 exchanges in the US, beside the NASDAQ, the New York Stock Exchange, and American Stock Exchange per se. You got the other exchanges, there's 16, they're all lit. So they are actually transparent. They are not in like a dark pool per se. So that's the market. That's the thing I think in Malaysia is something that we definitely will want to have as an alternative execution venue.
Okay. Levis, you have a question, Levis?
Yeah, hi, Chris and Andy. Thanks for the presentation. Just a couple of questions. Firstly, within your ASP, which contributes about 70 to 80% of your revenue, right? Roughly how many percent is recurring and how many percent is fixed?
Okay, so that's the first question. Do you want to take the second question first? what's
Yeah,
the other
second question. Second question is I understand you are bidding for IEO license and just trying to see what stage you are at now and any timeline for final approval and what's the financial implications. Those are the questions.
Okay, I'll take the first one first. So recurring, how much is fixed, how much is variable? We don't actually track that. I will be doing a disservice to give you a number on that at this moment. As in the IEO itself, we are actually not bidding in the IEO sector. We have not submitted any bid for it.
Oh, okay. From my conversation with Mr. TS recently, I was made to understand that IEO, if it comes to, if they do get approval, it will be part under Salesforce. Isn't that the case?
Yeah, I think the process of applying for it and all that could have been coming from the major shareholder part. Of course, the system side can also be provided by us because we're dealing with brokers. So yeah, it will be jointly that way, join up that way.
I see. So any financial implications from that?
So sorry, Levis, I can't hear your question.
Any financial implications from IEO?
Okay, at this point in time, we don't have a workout per se in terms of the financial implication.
Understood. Yeah, I think those are my questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Levis.
Yeah. There's a question from Kelvin Teo. Any timeline to change and upgrade as most web brokers are still using the old version?
Old version as in?
I think old web version of their trading platform.
Okay, talking about users or dealers?
Dealers, brokers.
Dealers.
Yep.
Okay, so for the brokers itself, for the dealers and remisiers, we actually have a new version called BTX Plus, which we upgraded the looks and feel. The navigation, we deliberately kept the navigation and the features and function in full. Navigation, especially because it's always tough to relearn new stuff per se, new system per se. So look and feel definitely being upgraded. So that's starting to roll out. Starting in the broker this year, 2 broker this year, and more next year.
Thank you. There's a question from Ng Wei Chi. How is Sifu different from other retailer platforms like KLSE Screener and KLSE i3? How would it contribute to your financials in the medium and longer term?
Okay. So let me talk about the difference first. I think one of the things Sifu is different is that if you look at KLSE Screener and the rest, they don't have content. The content is actually come from user themselves. They will post opinions, potentially with videos and all that. We have content. What we do is that we actually actively seek out business people in order to interview them, to understand what they're doing, and to convey the information out to the public so that they can actually have another source, information source for them to make the decision on where to go. So that is one key difference that we have. In respect of the others, I think mobile app is another one, which I know the other provider also have their own mobile app, but I think you have to look at the uniqueness of the mobile app itself, the usability, the experience per se. So we are building it now, developing it now, and we are fairly confident it's going to be make a difference in the marketplace as time comes up, right? After its launch. How much will it be contributing to our business? It's difficult to say at this point because we are still at the infancy stage and we're ramping up. So we're to continue to invest. I think better clarity of it will come probably early next year.
So early next year only we will be able to understand how you eventually monetize this platform. Yeah,
correct. We are currently working on a few monetization strategy per se.
Okay, I understand. Who are your closest competitor, Andy, in the market? Is it end-to-end?
Yes.
So end-to-end will also be the only one that's in quite similar business as you guys, right?
If you're talking about offering for the retail
Mhm.
investor, retail broking side, it's definitely end-to-end. But they are not the only competitors. You have people like Horizon, which is a competitor for in the space of institutional broking business. You have people like Fidessa, IRES, who are competitors in the area of foreign share trading. So different system will have different niche. Most direct will be end-to-end, but we have also many other competitors per se.
Okay. And is your business actually affected by COVID-19 per se? Any of your business disrupted because of the COVID situation?
It's not actually.
It actually
None of them.
benefited you guys, right? I think because
Yeah,
of the heavier trading volume from retailers.
correct.
Yep.
So this year is a continued run from last year in the first 6 months. But as you can tell, the Bursa trading average daily value and volume is coming down. Has
Yep.
come down quite substantially starting July. So we are watching that.
Okay, understand. And is there any plans of M&A activities that the company is looking at the moment?
We're always looking out for companies that there's a fit for us, especially from a technological angle. And it can plug a gap in our service offering per se. So we're on the lookout. We haven't found anything that's interesting yet, but we are constantly talking to people.
Okay. Any questions from the floor? Well, then maybe another question from me, right? You have this few new product launches, right? Coming on stream for 2021 to 2024. Which part of this segment would it fall under? Would it be under your application solutions, or will it be under ASP or maintenance services?
Definitely ASP. We're looking into again, as I said earlier, try to reduce the cost for brokers. So the less upfront investment cost, but license to use, and as they use more of, we get more.
Oh, okay. So be ASP lah.
Yep.
Okay. Got it. So typically you charge your clients, the broker, on a fixed and variable cost as well, right?
Yeah, correct. So when it varies with different. It varies with different combinations, depending on different brokers.
So how much is actually recurring and how much is actually fixed?
Oh, that's the one I said earlier that we don't keep track of that.
Keep track.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Understand. I think there is a question from. There was a recent legal case between Serba and KLSE Screener due to impersonation of the CEO. Do you see this possibly happening for Sifu?
Yeah. Good question. Immediately when it came out, I immediately forwarded to my Sifu team. Actually, we currently have plans to moderate our site. Okay, for now we're open to everyone. We do checks to make sure that to see the content of what is posted, and also to make sure things like, I mean, it's pretty outrageous. You impersonate the CEO of a company to make comments onto a platform. I think that's really shameful. But it's something that we are aware of the risks involved, and we are taking active steps to monitor our own site per se.
Okay. Maybe one or two last questions from the floor, if there is any. Okay, there's a question from Wilson, right? That the retail participation has moderated to 30 to 35% this year, but still higher versus pre-COVID. Any trends that you can share on change in user behavior during the pandemic that would suggest sustainability of retail users?
Trend in user behavior.
Yeah.
I don't have a specific trend per se. I've been tracking closely what's happening in the US. I think US is still one of the biggest equity trading market in the world, besides China. I do think that what's happened there in terms of retail trading is going to be sustained. Reason being that the people now are looking to invest, and they want to invest responsibly. For example, a lot of the retailers, why they like Tesla, because they think Tesla is helping the environment, climate change and everything, as a electric cars and battery powered offerings per se. So they want to get involved. And the newer generations are now more active in that sense. They either do it through, some of them will go through the direct indexing or through mutual funds per se, but I think a lot more of them are going to go directly and say, I want to have a share in this company because I believe in what they do. And then a lot of with the ESG push by the exchange for all the listed companies, I think that in itself is also a way for these environmentally conscious investors, new investors, to continue to partake in the stock investment. So I do think that going forward is going to be a sustainable change of behavior for a retail side.
Okay. Then there's another question from Yap Wei Wen. Any idea on the share cancellation done previously? And given that your company has been delivering stable P&L, has the group been approved by any funds houses?
Talk about share cancellation first. The second one is been approved by any fund houses. I'm not sure what that means.
Yep.
Share cancellation was a decision that we made because we don't see a need for it anymore. Hence, we decided to just cancel it and then have a smaller share cap per se in the market. In terms of the funds itself, I think we have taken active step to be Sharia compliant stock, closely monitoring so that we are not only open to conventional investors, but also Sharia, the people who would like to have a Sharia compliant stock. So we are always in that sense careful with that in how we actually place our funds and all that.
Okay. I think most of the questions have been answered. Any closing remark, Andy, or anything you would like the audience today to take away?
I think from our side here, at its core, we are a technology company. The only difference here is that we are very focused on B2B business. We have been focusing in the stockbroking industry for many years. We have a depth of wealth and experience here, and we will continue to invest in this area. Reason being that I do think that the capital market is constantly evolving, and there are many other opportunities beyond ASEAN, within ASEAN itself also, and also beyond ASEAN, that we can actually leverage on our knowledge and experience in which to help their capital market intermediaries to grow. So we are looking into both within Malaysia with our existing customers, ASEAN itself, some of the frontier markets are very attractive for us, and also beyond ASEAN, primarily more the emerging markets per se. And that's where we want to bring our expertise to in time to come.
Okay. So it looks like there's exciting plans going ahead, yeah?
Yeah, correct.
Okay. I think maybe with that, we would like to end the call today. If there's any further questions, you feel free to reach out to Image Jiwa. And on behalf of Excelforce and Bursa Malaysia, I thank you for attending today's briefing. Thank you and stay safe.
Thank you, everyone. You have a good day.
Thanks. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.